You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who've chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story. So don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. Last time
on Critical Hit.
I heard a report that a Canadian went and attacked the people in some of their homes yesterday. The crowd just kind of ripples back. Murder, murder, murder. Anyone who will break into that museum has never stolen anything.
So, yeah, either it's a decoy and the real orb is somewhere else, maybe inside of that structure. Or we're just losing time here while the Nazis take the orb.
A murder has been committed at the Glass Museum, and a break-in has occurred. There's a lot of chaos. The museum is closed until 2:00 p.m. You guys have roughly 6 hours of things to do in Murano, or wherever I suppose that you want to do it. But here's what I would like for you to do. Each of you gets 2 things that you can do in the next 6 hours. And we will, there's probably going to have to be a roll involved in it. And then we will see what happens based on the things that you do. So who would like to go first? And we'll probably do this in, do one thing, and then everybody will do one thing, and then everybody can go around and do it again. Now, you can do this all as a group, or you can all split off into individuals if you like.
Do we get break back into the museum for free?
No.
Okay. Then we should probably figure out who is best at breaking into breaking us into the museum.
So a few weeks ago on this very show, you guys had a list of things that you wanted to do. Watch the museum for the guard rotation, which, who knows what's going to happen now, because at least 2 guards are dead.
Yeah.
You wanted to get into the museum to see ghosts. You have seen a ghost. You have spoken to a ghost, finally.
Right.
Brian, did you learn anything else about your mask?
I mean, it seems to have some sort of time limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you identify how long, or was it do we remember how many
questions? Do we know that, was the ghost just getting tired?
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, it's either
she
way.
Didn't look like she was getting tired, but
yeah.
So, for those of you that were listening,
it be that we only have a certain number of questions.
Perhaps.
Okay, so there's something there that you may still want to investigate if you can. The third thing that you wanted to do is figure out the security system. Have you figured that out?
We know a way to reset it.
Okay.
So,
or to trigger it.
Or trigger it. So presumably,
or maybe even turn it off. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If there's did we find a way to turn it off?
Yeah, you just saw this button that said alarm, and then it also said
one
reset.
that said reset. Yeah.
Yeah.
I assumed the reset would turn it off, but yeah.
You also wanted to get into the boiler room.
Yep, we did that. I investigated the boiler room very thoroughly.
You didn't want to raise suspicion.
Right. We
probably
have been 50-50 on that one.
Yeah, you're probably 50-50 on that. And then you wanted to find the resistance.
Right.
Which we did.
We kind of did, but we haven't made a meaningful connection with them.
Well, yeah, but we found it.
We have sort of an entry.
it would be nice to spend some time sussing out the resistance, but like we are now on like a severe clock. Either the Nazis have absconded with the thing that we're looking for, and then there's kind of no point for us to be here.
Mhm.
Or they didn't, and we still have to find the thing, and we only have 6 hours until normal operations resume in the museum. So right now, there's no guards in there. The fancy guys are probably still there, but we can maybe get around them, or we can wait for them to leave. But again, this seems like our best shot right now at finding out, at the very least, what's up with those runes, which is, again, a lead that maybe doesn't lead us to the orb, but maybe leads us to something else. Because despite how frequently we run into it, like straight up magic is actually not something that we're constantly encountering.
Yeah.
So
if only your only magic user in your group hadn't died in the very first episode.
Yeah, I appreciate, if you don't mind, Stephen, just here for a second. So when I run my Exalted game, there are 27 abilities in Exalted 3rd edition, and I will often throw my players up against something where it's like, oh, like something needs to be written really fast. Did anybody take enough linguistics to do this? Nope, none of us did. And then like they can't do that, and they have to find a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to find something that uses all 27 abilities. You know, some stuff that happens frequently, not a single thing that uses all 27 abilities, but to use a thing that uses one or the other as we go through. But unfortunately, I feel like magic is too important in this system, and the fact that none of us have any knowledge of the mythos, makes things extremely difficult and actually makes us very bad at this job.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say bad at the job. I was and I've expressed this before, maybe not to the four of you directly, but I know in the GM Roundtable and in other places, GM Roundtable, for those of you listening, is a show where Dr. Brad Will and I sit down and we actually talk about this game right here that we're playing. And Brad and I will sit down and I will say, Brad, they're going to have to go find this red orb. It's in a museum. Here's what I'm planning. And I'm boop, 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 boop. And Brad will say, oh, that's a good idea. Or, oh, that's a bad idea. Or stop telling the players how they feel. And all those kinds of things. And it's a good time, but it's only for our patrons. But I do know that many times I have lamented that I really expected either Brian or Rob to pick some kind of magical trait skill. And then you didn't. And I was like, well, all right, we can make it work because, again, as we've learned previously in the story, magic is not super well known. Because that would cause, the mass populace to probably panic and kill we'd have the Salem witch trials all over again. So magic exists, but everybody just kind of who knows about it in the magic community would just kind of keep it quiet into themselves. Sure. And so, the Joe average on the street might hear ghosts, might hear magic, and they might think, oh yeah, magic act. I'm very familiar with Houdini. I'm very familiar with the Great NATO. But that kind of stuff, just a bunch of silly nonsense. And certainly Blisco, because he's been around the circus folk a little bit, he knows that magic initially just seems like bunk, right? That it's just tricks, that it's sleight of hand, mechanical devices, that kind of stuff. But now you guys are starting to realize, or your characters are starting to realize that no, there's some real magic and weird stuff that's out there that is trying to kill us and take over the world. Sure. So I'm not upset. Don't worry. You'll be able to get around these issues.
I mean, that's the only thing, is that it really does feel like Sam's supposed to be here and she's supposed to know this.
Yeah. That is exactly what it feels like.
Yeah, we just need to have one character or one player that's actually capable.
Yep.
But on the other hand, magic in this game, I think, is super frustrating because every time you cast a spell, it weakens you.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you're in a battle, one or two spells is probably all you want to cast, because otherwise you are so weakened, so fatigued that one hit could kill you.
Yeah. It's just,
So.
nobody was feeling it, I guess. I
Yeah, no,
didn't
that's
feel
fine. It's totally
I didn't
fine.
feel confident enough in like knowing the mythos. Also, I
Yeah,
kind of
and
didn't
plus,
want to, because I wanted to play a Mexican American character, and I'm like, I feel like we can't have the Mexican guy be the magic guy.
Yeah, I feel like
falls into too many stereotypes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like you don't want to be the guy standing outside of the jungle shrine and being like, "Oh no, senor, we don't go in there."
Right.
Right? And
Yeah.
of course, we know that Rob wanted to play someone from Nebraska, and Nebraskans are naturally resistant to magic because they're the American equivalent of dwarves.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're corn dwarves.
Yes.
All Nebraskan women have beards. Yes.
Or cords, if you will. Why would you do that?
Because he's from Oklahoma. The natural
College.
rivalry. It's like the only reason why there isn't a new civil
Sooner.
war is because Kansas exists
Kansas is in
between
the middle of
Nebraska and
the two.
Oklahoma.
To separate, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, to keep them apart. We're like that person at the bar that's trying to keep them from fighting. So anyway,
Okay, guys.
who would
it's
like to
fine.
do something first? You've got 6 hours, so I'm not going to tell you what to do. But
Can we
but
do
yes.
something like do a roll that gets more than one player into the museum?
Yeah, but breaking into the museum, as I said, is going to be kind of not possible.
Oh,
at this
okay.
point.
Okay. So, all right. So I was operating a completely different. I
Sorry. I thought I made it clear that you're not. You were like, "Hey, can we get into the museum free?" And I was like, "No, you can't get into the museum."
Well, I
yeah. So that's my fault for not clarifying.
yeah. But so what you're saying is, what I was thinking is that we need to take advantage of this time when there when the public isn't in the museum.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is, don't do that. You can't get into the museum right now.
Yeah.
Basically,
What do you do for the next
public.
6 hours until the museum opens again?
Right.
Okay. All right. I think we're on the same page now.
Okay. Cool. And everybody else is too.
I'm on page 53.
All right. Surprisingly, I am on page 26 of my notes for this campaign, for this arc of the campaign.
In that case, I am going to try to talk to the resistance.
All right. How are you going to do that?
I'll go now that it's, you said it was like 7.
Yeah, it's getting close to 7:30, 8 o'clock now by the time that you've all gathered and met and had your conversation, and a week has passed for our listeners. So, yeah, it's closer to 8 o'clock. Shops are opening up. Cafes and restaurants and bars are all opening up. Certainly, even though the museum is closed, the festival grounds are super active.
Okay.
Matthew, can you look up what date December 8th, 1939 was? I feel like it's
what
Friday or a
week?
Saturday. Yeah.
It would be a Friday.
Yeah, so it's a Friday. Maybe a lot of people are taking more time off during the holidays. So there's a lot of crowds in the front lawn of the museum, riding the roller coasters. The little kids are on the merry-go-rounds. The Ferris wheel is going.
So I will, now that it's 8 a.m., I'm sure now the bars are open.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go to that bar where we talk to Andretti and go look for Andretti.
Okay. Is everybody going to go or just Rodrigo?
I think Doc would like to go along on that portion of the program.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Anybody
probably
else?
don't need all 4 of us, but
I've got
some
ideas.
backup would be okay.
You have ideas? Okay. So Rodrigo, you go over to the bar. Let's see. Let's just might as well try to get you some momentum. How about you roll a insight reason? No, let's do reason plus observation, I guess. D1.
Reason plus observation.
Yeah.
That is not going to get us momentum.
All right. Can I get you at least one success?
You know, if I'm with you,
Hey, you can
good at those
assist. You can do an
things.
assist, but unfortunately, you were not with him before, so your knowledge of the bar would probably not help out.
Phooey.
Okay, so that's less than 10. How much momentum do we have? 3. I'll take a momentum.
All right.
1 success.
All right. So you kind of remember where the bar is. It takes you a little bit of time, probably a little bit more time than you need to. But you eventually get over and find the bar that you were at the next day. You go in, and sure enough, sitting at the bar are 3 gentlemen enjoying drinks. The bartender is kind of laughing with them. They don't seem as jovial as they were the day before. And that may be because sitting in the booth across the way is 2 police officers.
Uniformed or like?
Yeah, these are uniformed police. These are uniformed police officers.
Okay.
These are probably guys that just got away from the museum and saw the bloody bodies and the messes and all the, the decapitations, and they need a drink.
I will go sit at the bar and say hi to the guys and then get a drink.
Oh, it's our American friend. Hey, welcome. And he looks at Doc. You have a new friend.
Yeah, he's cool.
Very good. And he, it may not be as cool in here as it was yesterday when we met. He kind of fans himself, and he kind of looks over his shoulder.
I get it. You just never know when the heat's going to come on.
Yeah. And the other 3 guys laugh. Hey, yesterday you bought us a drink. Another round for us, huh?
Sure.
The bartender comes back with the green drinks again, smelling of high alcohol. Got to ask a question for you. Your friend over there, he's cool, right? He's not not a Canadian, is he?
No.
Because there seemed to have been some trouble yesterday, and Andretti heard it was Canadian involved in it.
Nope. We're all Americans, so...
I'm from Massachusetts.
At the mention of a Canadian, you see the police kind of perk up a little bit, look over your way. But then pretty quickly they go back to drinking their very dark lagers and muttering to themselves about stuff. Yesterday you were asking about the places to go. Unfortunately, the museum is closed until 2 o'clock because somebody got murdered.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. It's pretty bad, right? Yeah. A good man, Samuel, was killed.
Oh, you knew him?
Oh, yes, everybody knows Samuel. He's a very good guy. Sure. Yes. His brother, or his cousin's cousin, comes over every morning to pick him up and take him to breakfast back at Venus. Yeah, so it's very, very sad. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yes, I told you to go and see the museum yesterday. I don't know if you got a chance. It sounds like it won't be open until this afternoon. But I also said you should probably go and check out the bigger tower in Venice. Did you do that yesterday?
I did not. We just went straight to bed and came here pretty early.
Oh, that's too bad. That's really too bad. And he looks at his friends, and his friends kind of give him this eye like,
Well, do you think I can check it out tonight?
Not tonight. Tonight's not a very good place. Have you seen the beautiful Rialto Bridge?
Only if we passed it, but it wasn't pointed out to me.
Oh, it is a very beautiful bridge in Venice. It is such a sight. Hey, you, a policeman. And the policeman, yeah, isn't the Rialto Bridge just a beautiful place for the tourists to see? He just kind of looks at Andretti and is just like, yeah, I guess. Sure. I think St. Mark's Square are much more beautiful, but the bridges, sure. Goes back to drinking, like, stops really kind of paying any attention to you after that.
Yeah. So are they suggesting that I go check it out, like, tonight?
That would be a very good suggestion.
Okay.
What else have you seen?
Oh, people are all abuzz about this break-in at the museum.
Oh, yes, it's the whole line I was talking about. I cannot wait to read the newspaper this afternoon.
Yeah, somebody told us it's like a folk thing that, like, there have been break-ins before, but no one has ever stolen anything from the museum. Have you heard about that?
I have heard of such a thing. Of course, there have been 1 or 2 break-ins in the last... He looks at his friend, and his friend is like, 50 years? Yeah, 1 or 2 in the last 50 years, but nothing is ever stolen.
Kind of amazing.
I think it's a good security guard, like a Samuel, and they all 3 of them at the bar, and the bartender all cross themselves. Poor Samuel, such a good guard.
My condolences.
Yes, yes.
So I'll just I don't think I have anything else to ask them directly, so I'll just keep hanging out with them for now.
Okay. Doc, what about you? What is one thing that you would like to do right now? Or during this time period?
I wanted to maybe kind of ask them circumspectly about the gentleman in black, if they know anything about them.
Do you say this out loud?
Quietly.
No, he said he wanted to do it circumspectly.
Circumspectly.
All right, so you can try that.
When we were going around, we kept seeing some very fancy gentlemen wearing lovely suits, and I've always wondered if I could get kind of a black suit like those gentlemen were wearing, and I didn't know maybe where they might have come from to where I could see where those were.
Roll a reason plus persuasion D2.
Reason plus persuasion. Reason plus persuasion. I suck at persuasion because I'm weird and creepy. I think I'd like a momentum. Do you think I can have a momentum? I'm gonna
You can. You have two. You have two.
Yeah. One success.
One success. He looks you up and down. And he says, there's plenty of places to get a black suit in this city. But I bet you are a fan of the secret societies. Ooh. And his friends are all like, ooh. And you can hear the two cops kind of laugh at that.
Oh, that's too tempting not to bite on. Well, I wouldn't say a fan. I mean, I've been known to dabble. Why? Do you know of any secret societies?
Oh, Italy is famous for its secret societies. You got the Illuminati. You got the Rosicrucians. You got the luminaries. You got the Bilderbergers and the Build-A-Bears.
You got the Build-A-Bears. You got the Lego store.
you got the whole Mall of America over there.
You got the Auntie pretzels.
One time I went to the B. Dalton over there. Okay.
So many secret societies all over the place. So many of them like to wear the black suits.
Never heard of the you said of the Luminary?
Oh, yes.
Not familiar with that.
Oh, it's a social organization of just the rich bastards. And he spits. And the bartender is like, looks at him, hey, what's going on, Andretti? I just cleaned this bar. And he's wiping up the spit that he spit on the bar.
Oh, you can't trust those rich ones.
I know, right? Oh, except for our friend here. And he pats Dutch on the back really hard.
You can trust me. I'm spending my father's money.
Yes, of course. That's why we like you so much.
He's not
another
rich.
round.
He's just
another
related
round.
To people
another round.
Another round.
2 more rounds.
2 more rounds. Hey, I like this guy.
Suddenly it occurs to me that I'm actually spending Dutch's monies.
Well, our money. This is coming out of our mission fund.
That's true. So yeah, I would like to carefully not seem like I'm too eager to ask if you know the rich bastards have done anything cool here in Murano.
Oh, they're all over the place. About Joseph, what was it? 19 or 2022, I believe. Yeah, 1922 was probably their biggest membership that they had, but last 20 years or so, they kind of dwindled down there. You don't see them very much. You can see them. Hey, remember yesterday when you came in? There was one of them walking by the outside of the building while you were in here drinking with us. Black suits, slick back hair. They got so much money they don't know what to do with it.
Those guys are the luminaries?
They got the dark glasses?
That's what they say.
Oh. How about that? I should probably maybe ask them where they got their suits.
You don't want to mess up with them. They're bad news.
Are they?
They got their fingers in every little part of the government trying to control everything.
Man, that seems to be going around.
Oh, yes.
They're up to no good, huh?
I think a few more years, they're going to be gone. They will have spent their papa's money and not have made anything for themselves. Stand around, look important, stand around at the museum, scare people away. Oh, you know what they want, though?
What's that?
What?
They want you to join their club, and then they charge you monies.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They start out with $100 fee,
Mhm.
and then after 6 months, you got to start paying a dues of $50 every 6 months.
Wow.
They're spoiled brats.
So you see them around all the time, huh?
You see them every once in a while. They walk in pairs.
They ever do anything real shady?
I mean, have you seen them? They just don't look as shady.
They do wear the cheaters all the time. That's good to know. Good to know.
Blisco, what would you like to do?
I was going to take a quick look at that map you showed us earlier, the museum grounds. There was like a lot of stuff going on in the front of the museum.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was a Ferris wheel, right?
Oh, yeah, there's a big Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel was a big deal in, what was it, the 1909 World's Fair in Chicago. I forget what the fair that was. That's where the Ferris wheel was introduced, and the Ferris wheel took off after it was introduced at that Chicago World's Fair. In fact, the modern Midway that people know today really owes itself to that Chicago World's Fair and the Ferris wheel, because the only way you could get the quote-unquote normal citizen to come down to see the city, the White City, was because you had all of these carnival attractions around it. So yeah, when you see a Ferris wheel, you know fun's a waiting for you.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna like spend most of the morning just kind of seeing what's going on at the museum by like riding the Ferris wheel, going through everything, and
yeah, give me what are you looking for specifically?
any sign of one of our theories being confirmed, either that it is gone or a sign that either the item is gone or that there might be still people trying to get a hold of it because they didn't succeed.
Okay, so let's do an observation and insight, please. This will be a D2.
Insight, observation. Hey, that is a 50-50.
You have one momentum left.
I will not use it. And
Only
I will
one
fail.
success. You really love the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
You like riding
Up in
it.
the
You
air.
go up to the top, and it's one of those, where as you're letting passengers on and off, you eventually get to the top of the Ferris wheel, and you can look out over the entire city of Murano. It's not that very big. Most of the buildings are only 2 stories tall, maybe an occasional 3-story building, but those are fairly rare. Up at this height, you can see the top of the museum, and you can see up there the great glass dome that allows you to see down into the Grand Display Gallery. Of course, you're too far away to actually see into the building, but you see the glass reflecting everywhere, and you can see little vents and things at the top of the building, letting air in or out. But unfortunately, you don't smell any sulfur, or you do not see Frau Freitag and her students anywhere over this time period. Valentino.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking something along the similar lines, but maybe like going around, especially the shops that we've seen them at before, and asking if anyone's seen Madame Freitag or the children. Maybe like come up with some story about how I have a message for him.
Yeah, how are you going to? What's the pitch that you're going to do to get people to want to give up that information? And are you going to only do it around the museum itself, or are you going to go to like some of the main boat ports or anything like that?
I figured I'd kind of work my way out. So, again, stop at like the first place we had went the one night where they came in, see if, ask them if they seen that lady that was in there the other day. And, I'll, go ahead and ask, Frau Freitag. Have a message I'm supposed to deliver to her. She was here with 6 children. Do you know where she would?
So Sure. So give me a persuasion plus will. We'll do a D2 on that.
Not my worst combo.
And you have 1 momentum left.
Sure, I will burn a momentum.
Yeah, spend
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Only 1 success.
15. I didn't roll yet. Yeah, just one
okay.
success.
All right. Just 1 success.
Darn.
So you go into some of the places where, the one restaurant that you were at the one day when they all came in and were sitting there at the bar or at the countertop. The guy's like, no, I just vaguely remember them because they were all so weird looking. But no, they've not come back. Not seen them since. You kind of work your way kind of back towards the main dock areas. You cross a couple of the smaller islands till you get to the main water taxi places that will ferry you either to mainland or back over to the island of Venice. One guy kind of scratches his head and said, I think I remember a woman kind of fitting that description this morning, but she have no children with her.
Do you know which way she would have been heading?
Oh, she got on my friend's boat down there. Actually, he's not a friend of mine because he steals all my business. But she got on that boat and she went to. He just kind of waves off to the distance. Right. And speaking of, as he waves off into the distance, you can see further down the island. You can see a big boat next to a warehouse, and it's unloading a lot of stuff, big crates and stuff. And there's a lot of police down that area of the island. All right. Rodrigo.
Yes.
Your turn again. Turn 2.
All right. Well, since I have what I now realize was an appointment, I'll. Yeah, it's funny because I was in it. I was like, oh yeah, we're talking surreptitiously about stuff, and they're like, you should check out this tower, and I was like, okay. I don't know why they're giving me like holiday advice, but that's
sure.
Nice of them. I'm on board now. I realized what I didn't do last time. So I will close the tab.
Oh, Joseph at the third guy at the end. He's like, oh.
I'll be back.
Don't worry.
Hey,
we'll be back.
All right. How much did I spend here?
Oh man, you spent like 6 monies.
Okay.
Oh man, that's a lot of money.
I mean, you had like 3 rounds of drinks, and it's the most expensive drink on the bar menu.
And one of them was even square.
So there's the three guys, Andretti, Joseph, and the other guy that we don't know his name. Mm-hmm. Then the 2 of you. So 5 drinks. That's like 15 drinks you had to buy.
Yeah.
For 6 monies.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got a receipt because I'm sure the brigadier is going to ask about it.
So I'm going to place a call.
There's a phone booth in the back.
I will call the French Library.
Oh man, the operator kind of raises a fuss, and you're going to have to shovel a lot of coins.
Sure.
Into the thing. It takes you like 5 minutes to shovel all the coins in there. But eventually you get connected to the Paris Library.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. I would like to speak
Is this
with...
Dutch?
Yes.
It's Antoine. How are you?
Oh, hey, Antoine. I was trying to get a hold of you here.
Yes,
How are you doing?
I'm here. I'm good. How is Valentino?
He's doing good.
That's wonderful.
Yes, he's doing great. We're taking good care of him.
Good.
So we have run into a group here in Italy. The locals seem to give them a wide berth and think of them as rich, I guess, kind of hobbyists, but they apparently are known as luminaries. Do you have any knowledge about the luminaries in this area?
It's so let's roll to see whether Antoine knows this. It's going to be academia plus what is that?
Probably reason.
Reason, yeah. Academia plus reason, D2.
So academia plus reason is less than 10 for me. One success.
One success. After you mentioned, the Brigadier said you talked to the man in Belgium. We did do some digging around, and of course we found the information that you already know about the luminaries taking the artifacts to places unknown. There's actually a children's book that actually talks a lot about this, but it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
From what we've gathered, it seems like when the luminaries split up, when they left originally, the order kind of fractured. Some wanting to use the artifacts maybe for more power than they should have, and others strictly following the we must protect the artifact stance.
Okay.
I'm not really sure right now about Italy because, fascists.
Sure.
I can do some more digging. Would it be helpful if I come to where you're at?
Oh, I don't know. We might have to leave in a hurry soon.
Oh, well, because I was going to say it would take me at least 2 days to get there.
Yes. So let me give you a call in the next couple of days and see if we need that information. Again, it's also just very likely that we're going to have to beat it out of here. So we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate what you've told me.
So I want to be clear. You want me to look into any luminary organizations in Italy?
Yes.
Okay. I will write that down. I'll let the Brigadier know.
Yep. And this is the hotel we are staying in right now. But we're usually out all day, so you'd have to call us in the evening.
Oh, okay. I will make note of that. Any word that you want me to pass to the general, or would you like me, or anything you would like to say to the Brigadier, or would you like to speak to the Brigadier directly?
If he's there, yeah, sure.
Okay, hold on, sir. The boys are on the phone for you. Oh, hello.
Hello,
Is this
Brigadier.
Dutch?
This is
Yes.
Dutch.
Yes. How are you? Things going well?
Well, things are complicated.
No.
We
Okay.
believe we found the artifact, but it appears to have been stolen by Nazis. However, there are other things around that make us think that maybe they didn't steal the right artifact. So
I hope for your sake that they didn't steal the artifact.
Oh, I hope for all our sakes that they didn't steal the artifact, Brigadier.
Yes, quite.
So we're still investigating here, but if you have any eyes on any of the local airports here in Venice, you might want to keep an eye out for someone who's going by Frau Freitag.
Oh, Frau Freitag, eh? All right. Let me ask you, she's got blonde hair. She
Did she?
smell?
Yes,
Yeah,
she has a strong sulfuric smell.
We have had word of her. Did she have her brood with her?
She did, but she seems to have expended them. Oh, actually, I guess I don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. There were 6 teenagers with her.
Nasty children.
Yes, very Aryan.
Yes, the brown shirts are just as bad as the Nazis.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you do, keep an eye on them. And if they are the ones that stole it, then... all right, anything else?
No, not so far.
Oh, it's me, Antoine, again. The Brigadier just handed me back the phone. He seems to... I kind of shook his head and walked off. Everything okay?
Let's just say that our methodology doesn't really jive with his military training.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense in hindsight, yes.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's where we get results. But right now, we are not doing super well, just in our investigation. So I'm sure the brigadier is concerned about that, and it's fair that he's concerned about that. And understandable as the point person for this mission.
Yes. Well, I know that you will do a fine job. I have complete faith in you, and of course in Valentino. Please let him know that I believe in him.
I'll let him know.
Okay. Well, I guess since we already said goodbye once, I don't know if there's a reason to say goodbye again. So, well, I guess there's a reason to say goodbye again. Goodbye.
Bye. I'll hang up.
Doc.
I am the doc. How may I assist you?
What is the second thing that you would like to do? Dutch, kind of paid the bill, and he wandered into the back to make a phone call, and he's been gone several minutes, but, you don't have to stick around here. You can really do anything that you want.
Mm-hmm.
It is getting close to, you guys have been drinking for a while. It is getting close to noon.
Mm. And this is a drinking establishment? Or
this is a bar. Yeah, this is definitely a bar.
They have
the police have gotten up and left a while ago.
Oh, good. Is there anybody here who definitely looks more relieved than they should at the exit of the police, other than
certainly the three people that you've been talking with seem a little bit more relieved that the police have left, but it's not like they suddenly break out into rolling out maps and pulling out their guns and bombs and everything, and are trying to figure out what's the next place that they're going to take down. Because they are very reserved, because this is a working bar and people do continue to come in and sit down to have a drink, especially as it gets to lunchtime. More wine is being served at lunchtime. Some cheese and some gabagool is out for people to eat.
Okay. With the police gone, I may try and not necessarily openly, but slightly less obliquely ask if Andretti and his friends know anything about the like this. I guess we've already really covered that. Like the circumstances of the murder itself, I guess, really aren't
probably not something that's been passed around. Everybody knows that Samuel is dead.
Right.
So you might want to think of something else. You might want to think of something else that you want to investigate, look for, search at, whatever it is.
I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave Dutch a note that says I went for a walk, and I'm going to see if Murano has a medical facility. If they have anything that might constitute a hospital, or even
they do have a small hospital. It's run by a convent on the very, very edge of the island. There's a group of 6 nuns that kind of run the convent, and it's more not for major emergencies. It's more for people that have broken their arms, people that are sick, those kinds of things.
Right. Okay. And does it seem like if you had a dead body, they might take it there?
Probably not on this island, because this is such a small hospital. They would, and it's really minor stuff. They would have taken that body to either the mainland or to Venice Island.
Okay. Still, it might be worth seeing if they know anything.
Okay. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go inside and see if I can find someone who looks very, very junior nurse-ish. I don't want the ward nurse with the severe face. I want the young woman who might be accidentally loose-lipped. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to ask her if my friend has checked in.
Oh, your friend. You're looking for your friend. What is your friend's name?
He was injured. I believe his name was Luigi Mario.
Nope, no one is by that name.
Oh, well, that's odd. They said, I could have sworn they said that he had a broken finger, something that needed to be put in a splint. Is that something that they would?
Nope, nothing like that here.
No, I'm sorry. Huh. Well, that's very odd. Is there anywhere else on the island where they might have taken him? Or would they have taken him back to Venice?
Oh, I mean, depending on the severity of his injuries, they could have taken him to, and she just kind of gets a far look in her eye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They probably took him to the Venice hospital.
That makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah.
And this morning, I'm sure there was all sorts of excitement with the unpleasantness.
Oh, yes. Poor Samuel. Everyone on the island is talking about it.
Oh, did Samuel live on the island? I've heard about him, but I don't know if I ever met him directly.
Well, of course, you probably wouldn't. You obviously are not Italian.
No, but I've been in town for days, and of course, I've spent a lot of time.
Oh, he worked nights.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh,
he worked nights at the museum.
That does make sense. That would be it.
Maria! Oh, yes, Mother Superior. You need to do your rounds. Oh, yes, Mother Superior, I will be right there. And, sorry, is there anything else that I could help you with?
No, thank you. That will be all.
All right, you see her grab a guitar from behind the counter, and she goes upstairs.
Dominique.
She goes upstairs, and as you're leaving the hospital, you can hear a guitar playing.
Is there anything on her desk that I could just like?
I mean, there's a log. I mean, there's a log, like a check-in log.
Right. It's big. It's heavy. It's wood.
Yeah.
Is there someone here who is looking right at me, to where if I just snag the log, put it in my jacket, and moseyed out in the most?
I mean, what are you trying to find?
I don't know. I'm not necessarily trying to find anything.
All right. So you steal a logbook and you roll a stealth plus agility.
Stealth
a D2.
Okay, this is going to be beautiful. I'm totally going to do this, you guys. And do you know why? I'm
just waiting for you to roll.
Why?
There you go. Why? Oh,
I'm having to do the math. Because I just rolled a success.
One success.
Yes.
You start to walk out, and someone's like, excuse me, sir. It's an old nun is walking up to you. That belongs to us. And she takes it from you and sets it on the counter. Please be on your way. I know you're up to shenanigans with the festival and all, but please go on out of here. And she kind of shoves you out the door and closes the door behind you.
Okay.
All right. We are back to Blisco.
I kind of only had the one idea.
You should.
I will. You want me to help you out, or somebody got a suggestion for
Rodrigo was throwing something out there.
Okay.
I was gonna say, go see if you can get familiar with those boats. If we need to.
Oh yeah. How did I not think of Blisco doing that anyway? There's machinery to look at. Let's go look at machinery.
Okay. So you wander over to the big dock area, and I'm trying to, again, if we look at the map of the island, San Donato is where you've been doing most of your activities. San Stefano is where a lot of the water taxis are coming in from the Venice Island. There's also pink one, the Serenella, the pink one. There's a lot of those that are taking you to mainland Venice. And then over on Navigero, that is where there's like warehouse stuff. And as you are down on San Stefano, you can look out and you can see there's a big boat, like a shipping boat, that's unloading big crates of stuff into a warehouse. But yeah, there's all sorts of boats just lined up in all of these ports that you go and look at. Anything in particular you are looking for?
Something that's going to be quick, easy to pilot, and potentially have to get us to not just mainland Venice, but the mainland.
About an insight plus vehicles D2? 2 successes. And
3 successes.
3 successes because you have...
Wait, nope. My focus is not watercraft.
Oh, okay.
My focuses are cars and aircraft.
All right, so two successes. Yeah, there's a lot of fast boats here. And it looks like some of them obviously are water taxis. Those are the ones that are going to be making trips back and forth from the various islands. As you are passing over some of as you're passing from one of the smaller islands to the next smaller island, there's houses along here. So there are boats along here, like private boats that, these motors, they're kind of like, a truck motor or a car motor. You could probably figure out how to hotwire one if you needed to. And you can see there are some very fancy speed boats. But there are also some fisher boats, some fishing boats that some people might use to go out into the lagoon or further out into the Mediterranean to do some fishing. So there's lots of boats, and there are definitely a couple of fast boats that you can see.
Is there anybody... So we've got the stuff in the dockyards unloading. Is there anything there being loaded?
No, you don't see anything being loaded. This looks like, well, I guess if you go a little bit further down, if you kind of look past the big boats, you can see some smaller boats, and these are definitely loading up crates, and you can see that these all say "Fragili" on the side. As they're loading up these boats, so you would, you probably would guess that these probably have glass in them that they're getting ready to ship out.
Just kind of stay around the docks and see what stuff is here for an extended period, what stuff is here for...
Water taxis are constantly coming and going. It's like the minute that one pulls up, someone else is jumping into one and driving away. And there's certainly lulls during the day where people are maybe not as active going back and forth, but certainly around the lunch times and the meal times or big important moments of the day, there are definitely people spending more times at the water taxis, and that's when it may get backed up. Certainly there's other people that are just hanging around the docks doing nothing, a couple of people playing cards, and whatnot. But the big boat that's unloading stuff just continues to unload throughout the day into this warehouse. And finally, Valentino.
Well, for the most part, I was going to kind of see if there's somewhere I can sit down a while and keep an eye on the boat that seemed to have plenty of police activity around, seeing...
Oh, yeah. Look at that. As you're walking down towards that area, there's Blisco, also just kind of sitting there at the dock of the bay, watching the tide and watching the boats roll in as well. And if you would, give me an observation and insight.
Okay.
A D2 on this, sorry.
All right. I will just try with 2 dice, see what comes up.
One success and 1 complication.
Okay.
So it's clear that whatever they're unloading, they don't want people spending too much time watching what they're loading and what they're unloading from the boat. There are people on the boat with, it looks like, some kind of a machine guns up there, and there's a large police, or I shouldn't say a large police presence, but there is a police presence on the dock itself, watching out for people. Eventually, one of the police guys notices that you're standing a little bit too long and starts pointing your way. And then the other one that he kind of pats on the shoulder and points your way, also points down about 20 feet to Blisco standing there as well. And they start to move in your direction. They are easily 100 yards away.
I'm gonna kind of turn and start walking briskly off, and maybe start coughing kind of loud. So maybe Blisco hears.
What is a? Let's see. What is that? That would be insight plus
hinting.
Observation, I guess. Yeah, insight plus observation D1, Blisco.
Oh boy. Hey, I did it.
Nice. You hear Valentino coughing, and he kind of throws his head over your shoulder and points back to the police. And you know it's time to get out of that area. All right. 2:00. You are all back on the grounds of the museum, in the boardwalk area or the midway area. A lot of carnival, a lot of people. They don't really seem to be too upset that the museum is closed. A lot of people wearing masks and whatnot. And there goes that guy with the tricorn hat and the black mask and the and the cape again, walking through the crowd very slowly, stops occasionally, looks and sees what people are doing and then moves on.
Like my wallet.
You do have your wallet. You do.
Okay.
Be careful.
You hear from
in front of them. They see where it is.
Yeah, you hear from across the midway. Papers. Noon edition papers.
Well, let's get a paper.
You go up to the little boy. He looks up at you. Paper, sir. And you give him a little dime or whatever. And on the front page, break in. That's the big, 20-point headline on the front of the cover of the paper. And if you look at it, sure enough, there is a photograph of the broken door and people standing around outside. If you look close enough in the photograph, you can see a man bending over the steps. This was taken in the morning. If you read the article, and again, it's going to be hard for all of you, although Latin languages, some of you will probably be able to figure out. It's talking. There was a break-in in the museum. 2 guards were killed, including Samuel, who was most beloved on the island for his kindness to children at the local hospital up on the second floor. Apparently there was a children's ward up there where some very sick children are at, and he would go every day to that hospital and entertain and make those children very happy. So the island is very saddened to hear that Samuel was killed. And then there's this quote from the museum director that says, fortunately, because of Samuel's sacrifice and the sacrifice, they mentioned Mags, the other person who was killed, because of their sacrifice, because of what they have done for us, nothing in the museum was stolen or broken. Unfortunately, these vile people who want to interrupt our festival, who want to kill our citizens, are a disgrace to humanity. We hope with God's grace, and we hope with the fine leadership of our fine Mussolini, that these bandits will be brought to justice, to swift justice. And then the paper goes on to talk a little bit about the history of the museum and some of their grand exhibits that they have. There's also a little blurb about the glass festival that's currently going on down in the so that's all on the front page. Second page, if you want to open it up and look inside, there is a short story about a gang of Canadians who are terrorizing the northern part of the island, and the citizens are disgusted and fed up with this, and that they're going to start taking matters into their own hand if this wild gang of Canadians doesn't do something. If something is not done to this wild gang of Canadians. And then there's a editorial from the editor of the newspaper who is just like, how much longer do we have to put up with Canada just coming in and thinking they can do anything to our country? This is a plague, and something must be done. And then, of course, there's advertisements for things that are going on in the festival and so on and so forth. It's not a whole lot of pages because this is like the afternoon edition, but certainly it's clear the newspaper wanted to get something out because they knew they could sell based on if it bleeds, it leads, right? So they knew that they could, they can hype a bunch of this stuff up about the museum. So it does appear that this boy has sold many newspapers throughout the day. But those are probably the high points of your reading the newspaper.
I'll make sure to point out to everyone that it says that nothing was stolen.
Didn't it also say nothing was broken? Or did I mishear that?
No, they said nothing was broken or stolen.
Yeah.
Didn't you say there was...
Yeah, there was plenty of broken glass in there. Well, here in an hour or so, we should be able to go back in and check it out.
In fact, at that moment, you see somebody come down the front steps, the janitor, and he takes down the sign and he pulls up this wooden barricade and moves it off to the side, and the door has been replaced. Surprisingly, the broken door has been replaced, and the doors are open and propped open to let people know that they are free to come in to the Glass Museum.
And so we should.
All right. You walk up the steps. Sure enough, as soon as that barricade goes down, a lot of people want to crowd into the museum because, of course, death, right? There was a dead body there. You hear some people talking about, ooh, I wonder if we'll see where the murder took place, kind of stuff. So there's some people that are there for ghoulish purposes. I tell you, sweetheart, I'm going to buy you one of the greatest pieces of glass that this gift shop has to sell today. I'm sorry. I love you so much, but I'm sorry that this place had to be closed throughout the day. So you hear this Texas guy kind of walking up with his wife and a couple of attendants behind carrying, lots of packages and stuff. People are just kind of crowding into the museum because it's now open and things are happening. And you walk in and everyone enters into the Great Hall. The marble floors look spectacular. Shining really nice and clean. Up on the top of the Great Hall, around the top is this frieze depicting all of these different important moments in glass-making history. And you were standing in the Great Hall.
Moments in glass.
I just head straight for the Grand Display Gallery.
Okay. Everyone follows you, and you enter into the Grand Display Gallery. And the Grand Display Gallery is a magnificent place where some of the best pieces of glass are on display. Of course, you are taken aback as soon as you enter the room because there's this glass dome at the top, and the light of the sun is coming in. The 2:00 sun is coming in, and of course, it's wintertime, so the sun is much lower on the sky than what you notice in the previous times that you were there. But the sun shines off on these beautiful pieces of glass. There's this swan sculpture with this exquisite curved neck that comes up, and there's this very large bear glass sculpture that is really large. It's like 3 feet tall, something like that. It is a very massive, heavy piece of glass. There's little ballerinas, very intricately done, and in the center of the Grand Display Gallery is a column, and atop that column is a red orb. Critical Hit Punch All Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Stephen Schleicher. If you would like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Each week I discuss my plans for the upcoming game session, and Dr. Brad Will is there to share his reactions and advice on how to be a better game master. I will warn you, though, there are spoilers galore in every installment of the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition. So, if you don't like spoilers and don't want to know what I am planning next, don't listen to these episodes. Though, I will say, if you do listen, you'll be able to see how and where the players throw a wrench into my plans, and you're also going to have greater insight into the world that's being built into this campaign. This week, we didn't have any named NPCs, so no shoutouts to our associate producers this week, but next week, we'll feature a lot of surprises, and more than a few of our wonderful patrons will become NPCs in this game. You want your name to appear as one of these NPCs in future episodes? All you need to do is become an associate producer at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Finally, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you again for listening this week, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2023 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
Discover the life-changing benefits of Meow Greens for your cat. Ever see your cat slowing down or having health issues and wonder, what can I do to make them better? Well, my friend, add Meow Greens to your cat's food for 90 days, and I guarantee you'll see changes that will amaze you. Greetings, I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, inventor of Meow Greens, and I invite you to take the Meow Greens 90-day challenge. In the first 30 days, you'll see shinier coats and increased energy. By day 60, your cat will have a stronger immune system, less shedding, improved joint function, all due to the live nutrients that you've added to their diet. And at 90 days, they're going to have better digestion, reduced inflammation, improved heart health, and you may even have reduced their cancer risk. Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your cat today. Go to trymeowgreens.com. Use promo code TRYMEOW. That's try MEOW. You discover the shipping. You don't have to change your cat's food to improve your cat's health. Just add a packet of Meow Greens.